One day I'm gonna be a streamer and I'll catch you up.
Yeah. When all the NDAs and everything have expired, you know, we can have a good, honest talk about everything in the industry.
Hopefully that never happens because I'll keep on having NDAs.
Oh,
for many
yeah,
different
true.
companies.
Well, when you've retired,
Yes.
when you're old and you've retired.
It's also somewhat better for me too, since the dollar is also very strong. Korean companies are getting a lot of their revenue from dollars, which is very strong conversion
Really?
into Korean won. Also, there's more competition, not just in Korea for gacha industry, which means they need a lot more marketing, which also calls for me slightly more than before. So, yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Wait.
Doing
Could
okay.
you expand a little bit on they're getting a lot of dollar? Because when people see revenue for gacha games, it's mostly from like
Can
Japan or China and stuff.
No. Could you Google the conversion rate in history for the last year from dollar to Korean won?
Well, it's not
Or
about
last 3 years.
Well, like the charts and revenues that we see is usually everything is converted to dollars, and we see things like Japan and China and Korea, you know, if it's a Korean game, are the ones who are giving the most money, and then you see like the global audience like America and Europe and all that stuff, and it always seems really low and bad. Like we don't contribute that much and we're not that important. So is that not true?
Oh no, it's actually not true. Depending on the game, though, which game? There's way too many games. Depending on the game, but the focus has been, let's say this Korean game made same amount of money in Korea, Japan, and global. And global meaning Americas usually with dollars. Then if it was same 1-to-1, now that the dollar is much stronger, of course their marketing has to focus on the dollar side. You know what I mean?
Well, I think what a lot of us see though is like it's not 1-to-1. It's usually like, let's say China is like 10, Japan is 8, and then global is like 3, basically in terms of
which
like
game
the
are you
skill.
talking about?
Honestly, most Chinese gachas and Korean gachas. That's usually what we see. Like even like I don't know, CZN. It seems like it's mostly Japan, Korea, and not really like global dollar. Epic
I don't
7
actually know the
might be the
numbers
opposite, though.
for Epic 7. I think they have heavy NA users.
I think
from what
it's
I know.
heavy global in China. I think for E7, but
For CCN, I think it's heavy Japan and global at the same time. So
well, it's definitely not Korea.
They have their Korea's doing okay. They're
really?
having steady numbers, but it's of course the population compared to Japan and Korea, it's Japan and global, it's a lot less. It has to be like technically. So, not saying there's less marketing, less focus on Korea at all, because they have their director on the show every single time. It's very different. But when I'm talking, let's say I'm talking Nikkei, like Nikkei, there's a whole lot of global audience, like whole lot. It makes the most amount of money from dollars, for fact.
Really, it makes more money from dollars?
That's not. I did not hear this from developers or at all because I never been to the company.
Damn,
But
they don't
that's
have you?
I'm watching a couple of YouTubers, Korean YouTuber that does like monthly things, kind of like Sensor Tower, but in a different way.
Hopefully
And
more
they're
accurate.
making a lot of dollars. Yeah, maybe a little more accurate. And
Yeah,
Blue
yeah,
Archive has tons of NA base, and also Japan base.
Really?
So that's also the thing. Yeah.
Interesting.
Brown Dust, I know it's like all around global, but they do make a lot from the Americas also.
Brown Dust.
So those are all the Korean games, and there are a lot more Korean games that I just did not mention here. But if you just think about that, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, the other 7 Deadly Sins, I believe they're one of the biggest region is just Americas, and overall South Asia. But a lot of the South Asia players also know English, most of them, and they do watch the same content. So these things are overlap, and the dollar is very strong, and I don't think it's going down anytime soon. So
It's funny because the dollar keeps going down, but everyone else is going so down that it's actually okay.
yeah, someone's fault. No, I'm not gonna name who.
So I think it was in that that clip that we saw earlier, actually, of the Tomodachi Life characters.
Oh, someone, yeah, some businessman. I see. Yes. So that's where most of the Korean companies are heading towards because the dollar is so strong. Slightly more
Interesting.
marketing and focusing. Also, yeah, you're getting more job because of that. In effect of
Well,
Korean companies focusing on global viewers.
Yeah, I am.
Slightly more than the years before.
It's actually weird. Normally the first like third to half of the year, I would say, is pretty slow. Like there's not really a lot going on. This first, like I'm actually blown away at how many sponsors and things are happening.
It's because of NTE. Every other company is just
It's not just NTE.
on panic mode.
That's the thing. Like, okay, like let's see. What are ones that I have slated right now? Well, there's Epic 7 and Chaos Zero Nightmare, so that's like Korean games. There's a thing for Etheria Restart. There's Neverness to Everness. There's Wuthering Waves. I mean, it's a consistent kind of thing. There's Enfield doing stuff right now. There might be a thing even for Wizardry from Japan.
What? Really?
Yeah. Who knows? There's a lot of things going on. It's actually crazy. And then there's still Do It Night Abyss doing stuff. There's I mean, Nikkei's doing their half anniversary thing, and it's kind of big. What else is there? What are other things that have been going on recently?
It's NTE plus the competition. They're filling this really saturated portions. They only have small portions they can only steal away from the other games now. It's not a blue ocean anymore. It's a red ocean with a lot of gachas. And it's hard to even sustain. They can't really stealing away or getting new players at this rate. It's incredibly hard for Korea. Right now, the ad, because of NTE, the ad doubled within the last 2 weeks.
Wait, the ad space is all taken by NTE?
Like the pop-ups. Yeah, just because of NTE, like the pop-ups.
Shit.
Yeah, they're pushing the ad with money. So all the other companies that has to, especially like Netmarble, because they just launched Origin, Mongol Star Dive, it's on everywhere. But because ad rate goes the same, it goes up the same for everyone. And you think about the all the capital that China can actually bring to the table. It's pretty hard to compete against it.
The Tower of Fantasy money. Bro, the AI in CZN might be the most brain-dented, lobotomized thing I've ever seen. It just manually played all of Renault's bullets and then played a 3-cost Quietus card. Like, what in the hell is it doing? It's so bad.
But you still beat it though.
Yeah, because I'm broken versus like jobbers, but like there's no way it should be this bad. You know how they're adding that sweep mode? I'm scared that the sweep mode is going to use the AI, but at like 1 billion times speed, and you're just going to constantly lose fights because of how bad the AI is.
No, that's why the director mentioned that there will be some like manual clicks that you have to do during the sweep. It's not going to be like complete auto sweep, I believe. I don't actually know how it's going to come out, but like a semi-auto.
Yeah, it kind of just calculates some stuff, it seems like, how strong you are compared to the enemy. Yeah, I've seen some people saying they would like more languages. I mean, here's what I will say, and this is the harsh truth, and I'm not even trying to be mean. I think a lot of gacha games just don't add some of these other languages because they reason they're not going to make enough money from it. That's my guess, is like they don't want to put in the time and effort to have to upkeep it and keep doing it. I don't know. I don't know insight into how the companies work, but that's just my guess. Yeah,
I do know. I do have some insights, but I cannot share with public for many different reasons. So
they're racist? He can't say that.
No, that's not the shit. I'm the one that has to do the job in secret now.
Yeah, bro wanted Spanish language, man. He just wanted Spanish language. Is that so wrong? And there's always people asking for Brazil, like Portuguese. They're always begging for Portuguese. You always see that, man.
I know. They're always in chat. I always see them with the flag. And you are also one of the chat too. I saw that.
True. I was putting that in chats as well. Very true.
You. Thanks. At least I got to ask the question because of that. But they do realize. But adding a language, guys, if you ever do, we have anyone that works in localization? Dude, the lines are crazy. Like even for like small, like tiny app that makes like no game on an app store, there's like a 10,000 line that you have to go through with all the items, conversations. For CZN, I don't even know how many lines it requires. Every patch, I'm pretty sure it's like 12,000. I'm pretty sure 12,000 lines or words that you have to localize perfectly in line, synced with a team of localization people. And localization people don't just work on single game. They probably work on multiple different games. If it's in the publisher team. Because your localization team doesn't really exist in the developer side. It's usually in the publishing side, which means they have to do multiple games. Let's say if it's in Marvel, they have to localize Mongol, Origin, and many others, like solo leveling and all that. And one team that handles multiple different games with different wordings, dude, think about your brain damage. Oh man.
Yeah, I guess
that's
that
why
makes
it
takes
takes so long time.
They need
that's like the easy way of saying this.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Can you ask?
That's it about Origin. Yeah, we did go.
Oh yeah, any more questions about Simulation's Origin?
Oh, I think what about the pet? Pet and the riding system. Did you try some pets?
I didn't really mess around with the pets too much, and I got that like really good big like cat pet, and I was using that. But like after that, that was the only pet I was using. As for mounts, okay, there's never a reason to not be on a mount. Like,
yeah,
when you're not on a mount,
faster.
you are so slow. You're unbelievably slow when you're when you're not on a mount. But when you're on a mount, like even the pig, you just jump and you're moving like 5 times as fast. It's so quick.
You shift jump and then it's so much faster. There's not you just cannot run.
You feel like your character is basically, they look like they're Usain Bolt with how hard they're running, but they're moving at like 1 mile an hour. Like they're running so hard for no distance. It's like they're on like a track moving backwards. So I don't know. I feel like you should just move a little bit faster without a mount probably, because it just feels kind of slow.
It's all part of the, I guess in a way, a game design. I'm not trying to be defensive for the game designer. Similar to how it takes a couple seconds to open the chest, the big chest, like it takes like 2-3 seconds. But those all add up into gameplay, into more game time play. It's actually true.
I know, but that's just really badly designed.
And the walking speed, if you move way too fast, you're gonna be at the end of the map in like 2 hours, and then you're gonna be asking like, so where's more content? I want new map. Why isn't it not coming out? I can move this fast.
Then maybe developers need to make games more fun so they don't have to artificially increase game time with fake mechanics, you know?
Yeah, I know the intended meme.
If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong,
yeah.
Are the fights timed in dungeons? Like you have to complete in a certain amount of time? I seem to remember something like that.
The dungeon or abyss? Or which one are you talking about?
Yeah, like when you're going to go fight a boss or clear a stage or something that uses energy. I don't remember. Do they have a timer?
Yeah, they do.
So that's
the regular dungeon, and
that's
then you
not
go
very
in,
well designed either, because there's no reason to have a timer. It should be you failed because you're not strong enough, rather than you failed because you ran out of time. A lot of games do this, and I think it's very badly designed.
Yeah, I think that's for the people who might not have a good amount of combat, but still like cheat in a way.
It exists just like how idle games. You know how an idle game will be like, or for instance, Star Savior, your power is this, and the recommended power is this, and just having lower power makes it so you can't clear the stage. It's basically a way of doing that without outright saying it, where you are not strong enough to kill it within 5 minutes, but we force this on you, so like you have to get stronger to be able to do that. And I don't know, anyone who's played these games, I feel they can see right through it. It kind of sucks ass, and it's not very fun, and it kind of hurts the fun of any game. Mongo Stardive has it as well with a lot of things. It's kind of just a badly designed thing, and if they keep doing it with games, I think people are just going to get more and more fed up with them doing that.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's intended.
It is intended. It's just it's
in many
design.
different ways.
It's bad design, even if it's intended.
I think this is a hot take. I think Smilegate, Netmarble, Super Creative, the Mongil team should hire you as a
consultant,
as a part-time everywhere. Yeah, consultant for the gameplay and design, and also give you an OBS for the compensation.
Have you ever heard of the white guy job in Japan? Have you ever heard of that?
The white guy job in Japan?
Yeah, so
No?
basically some companies
meme?
would just hire a white guy from the West to basically tell the higher ups when they're just idiots and doing stupid things. Because basically everyone in Japan will just, anytime someone in charge says we're doing this, they'll be like, yes, great idea, beautiful idea, amazing idea. So they would just hire a guy that's just basically unfiltered, no bullshit, and would just be like, that's a terrible idea. Like, why would we do this? Because like, you can't do that in Japan. Like, that's not how the culture works. You're not gonna say no to your boss like it's a bad idea. Like, they hire a no man. Instead of a yes man, they hire a guy that's just like, that's a horrible idea and here's why, right? It's like they need that at some of these gacha companies. They need someone to just be like, okay, but like, here's why this is a stupid idea and no one's gonna like that.
It's a company thing, man.
They
need
say someone...
no, the boss will not like you. You will not get the promotion.
You're not gonna get promotion. You might get laid off or something like that. Who knows what's gonna happen? They need someone who has no stake in getting a promotion or anything, just who can just tell it straight, and who the developers will actually be like, maybe they actually have a good idea here, rather than being like, I'm right because I've worked at this company for 40 years and I'm old. They need someone to just tell them that shit. I don't care if it's me, I don't care if it's someone else, but like, I think a lot that happens in a lot of things. They also need people to test these games and just be like, this kind of feels bad, this feels like ass, you guys need to change this.
But the thing is, you're streaming all day. Can you really
I'll stream the tests. I don't care. Hey, if they pay me,
that goes directly against the developers' policy.
No. Hey, look.
The exact reason why having an NDA is.
Look. Let me put it this way: am I streaming all the time? Yeah, but if they give me a little bit of money and they let me have an early test of some of these games to actually try this stuff out for games I'm interested in,
little bit of money. A little bit of money. How little bit of money? You say little, but
I'm pretty fair with prices. I'm gonna be real. I don't actually I'm not some like big deal guy. I'm not getting paid out the well, except for NTE, but
if there's any, because I do talk to developers somewhat in and out to the Korean companies, and if they ever need like anyone, because also the reason why I'm also asking you some of this, because you of course have a lot of playtime on the games. When you play it, you go through like 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, and you're a hardcore gamer, and you've been through a lot of open world games, so you have your insights. Yes, you have your deep insights. So Korean companies might actually listen and appreciate some of your thoughts into it. So I will send these opinions tomorrow also. Not just tomorrow, I do it all the time for many different reasons. But if I can get a contact to the Korean side, maybe you can directly be the consultant.
Wow, that's actually that would be crazy if I could have anything to do with
Korean
that.
Companies really have never tried, but we're at this level where Korean companies, they know, we all know the Korean games in terms of story, we suck. There's no good story from the Korean game company. They've tried many different times. I guess like Stellar Blade and a couple of those games are really good, but they finally started to hire actual people, like story writers from webtoons.
Oh yeah, well, see how that worked with CZN.
That's been the hottest hiring for the last like 5-6 months.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah, because story people around this industry, they jump from company to company, and it's mostly the same people. I'm not saying, but not mostly. No, it's somewhat of same people, and they don't really have fresh blood coming in that often. Instead of finding from the industry, they started hiring from like the webtoons, web novels, and so on. So there will be much better story side coming for the Korean games in near future.
Well, let me give a little bit of feedback really quick. I would say Mongol Stardive probably does the best job of storytelling of any gacha I've seen in terms of storytelling. I'm not saying it's the best story. The thing is, its story is very basic. It's like, it's not really that complex, it's nothing crazy. But the way that the characters interact, the way that they do the cutscenes, the way that characters feel like they're more natural talking to each other and joking around and being stupid, like, it's actually, the story's actually kind of funny. And like, the way the characters interact is actually kind of fun.
That's probably the local team, Localization. I think it's...
Well, it's not just... Well, okay, they are doing an amazing job, but also just even the cutscenes and the way they do all that stuff, I can tell, even though I don't know Korean, I bet even in Korean it does well.
Then the workflow process has to be really good, first of all. Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, what I will say is that, like, they don't have the best story, but the way they present it is really, really good, and I feel like... I mean, Netmarble did it, like, so it's them, like, they should look at that, because it's their own game, but I feel like games should kind of be looking at making it so the story feels, like, way more fun. And also, here's a huge thing, and I know this is gonna get so much hate from Korean audiences. Self-insert fucking sucks. Self-insert is not good storytelling, it never has been, it never will for any of these gachas. Self-insert basically leads to shitty writing and bad design where everyone has to dick suck you and you have to be the coolest guy ever and every girl has to fall in love with you. It's boring, it's done 1,000 times, it's not interesting.
Okay, I'm done talking to you, bye.
Yeah, I'm fired. It's true,
I was never
though.
in a call with you.
Yeah.
I was never in a call with you for the last 2 hours.
The thing is, it's just like, that's just how it is, and like, I think audiences outside of Korea and China, I would say China and Korea like that, I would say no one else does really, like as a general audience, it's kind of just boring.
How else, if you can provide a short solution, did you think about like the other side of things? How else would you present yourself to be immersed in the game if you're not technically in the game as a character?
Well, you see, I think that's kind of the problem is like...
Right?
Well,
yeah.
no, you see the issue... Okay, this is about to be kind of crazy, but it's like the issue is the, like... People are used to being coddled, and people are used to being the main character, but it's nice when you aren't. Like, here's an example. Limbus Company. You technically are... You are Dante, but Dante's his own person. Dante is his own person, though. He says his own words and makes his own decisions. You're not exactly Dante. And you don't have all the characters constantly being like, Dante, you're so amazing. Dante, marry me. You're the best person ever. But the story is so good between all the characters and how they interact and all those things. So you're still present as Dante, but you also aren't Dante. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're technically not really Dante. It's not a full self-insert, right? It's not the exact same. It's not like you name your character and, you know, I'm gonna name him Genocide and all that stuff, and they're like, you're so amazing, right? Reverse 1999 has Verdun. You are Verdun, but you're not really, like, Verdun has their own personality and character and everything. That kind of storytelling, I think, is done so much better. That's why Mongol Stardive was also cool too, is you see Cloud interacting with the different characters, you see his sister interacting with the characters, right? And they have fun interactions. Well, Korea didn't like that, because you're supposed to be Cloud, and all the girls are supposed to be all over you, right? That's how it is.
Yeah, they call it coupling, and they don't really like that. It depends on the game too.
It does.
Some games are made to be that way.
Depends how it's sold and marketed to people, I think. But I think if you make games without that expectation,
to be that way.
Yes, yeah. If you make the game without the expectation,
it's more about the gameplay,
then I don't think they can get mad, right? And I think a big pitfall that CZN fell into is that if CZN was never trying to be like, you know, Gunnar or self-insert, I don't think it would have ever been a huge drama in Korea, for instance. I think they kind of made a mistake by trying to do both at the same time when they should have just focused on, we're making a great game and it's going to be super dark and, you know, Cthulhu-ish and all that stuff. So I think that was
Or just make it like Blue Archive. Literally every time you log into game, like different students would call your name like, sensei.
Either go all in or don't do it at all is my feeling, because I think when a game half-asses it is when they run into issues and drama, because then they're not going far enough for the audiences that want it, and those people get pissed and all sorts of things happening. So I think it's an all or nothing thing is my feeling with a lot of games like this. But yeah,
it got it.
Really interesting. You're saying that they're hiring from like web novel stuff a bunch because like
it's public information. There are some webtoons, web novel authors who are also YouTubers now. They actually set these like on their channel, not for specific companies, but they were hired to consult with the storyline and the factors and all that, because that's been one of the hottest trendy for the web novels and webtoons and stuff.
Gclef, they should be hiring pornhua writers for some of these games.
What? Who? What?
They should be hiring pornhua writers for some of these things instead of just like the web novel people. The pornhua makers, dude, they should be hiring them for some of these gacha games for self-insert stuff.
They're OGs. I mean, I had my young days, but
you know, I know you're married and all that stuff, but like, you know, there used to be God, there was this one woman who made one that she would stream on Twitch. She would stream her drawing the like not porn parts of a pornhua. Basically, she would be drawing that stuff on Twitch.
There are
Brave New World. That's what portals.
It was. There are some portals that only would only publish pornhua, and it's actually doing really well.
I'm not surprised. Well,
it's 100% legal.
Well, let's be honest. Korea's a very sexually starved place.
It made so much money that even Naver Webtoon started started absorbing those webtoons that are not that far away, but with the rated R sign on it.
Interesting.
So the rating has been getting a lot more lenient for the regular people that has adults. You know, Korea has like the authorization thing, right? You have whenever you sign up for a website, you have to put your like social ID and stuff, so they know how old you are. So. Yeah, so Naver Webtoon has been absorbing some of those contents.
Interesting.
And it's actually been doing really well, really well. And you know what they say, porns and sex sells. I think it
does. Well, I think
hopefully it doesn't get all the way there.
Well,
I don't think it will.
I think
they need to draw a line somewhere.
Sex sells harder in Korea and China than a lot of other places, and well, I think it's for kind of obvious reasons. So like it makes sense that that's why self-insert stuff is also so popular in both of those regions too. It's not a coincidence. I'm not trying to talk Korean politics, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, but it's a cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. I know a friend his parents never let him eat ramen when he was young. And whenever he gets drunk, he's like, "Oh, I need a ramen." Whenever he gets drunk, he's like, "I need a ramen." He goes over there and cooks like 2 ramens. Because he was never allowed to have ramen when he was young. I think that kind of cultural thing is also in there, in a way.
Limiting that kind of stuff. I mean, I will say this. Look, I'm not in Korean government, but nothing good has ever come out of trying to restrict the people from things like that ever in history. Just historically, there has never been a case where that was worth it or good or led to anything positive. And I think that's why everyone wants to self-insert gacha games. I think that's why pornhua is popping off. I think all those kinds of things. So like, if these games want to make games that really are super gooner and really are going to do super well in those kinds of markets, they should just be looking at that kind of stuff fully. They should be hiring pornhua writers to make their self-insert games. I'm like not even kidding. If you're trying to make a game where it's about a self-insert and all the girls love you and all that stuff, they should be getting pornhua writers. Genuinely, that's not even a joke.
I think this might be the next collab from the Brown Dust 2.
They might have that for Brown Dust 2. They might have that. I wouldn't even be surprised if Brown Dust 2 did that.
What a fine idea. Good consulting, Jenna. You already have a check mark.
Look, here's the thing. I think a lot of these companies in Korea, they don't really know the consumer perspective well enough. Now, from what you're saying, and I think it's true, they're probably a lot more aware of issues nowadays than they used to be.
Yeah, they do.
I think, they're a lot more aware, but I still think a lot of the time they don't look at things from the consumer perspective, the everyday man, like how people will see things. For example, like, you know how many issues come out of these games where like they get into huge dramas and all sorts of problems because they don't seem to understand how people will look at things, how they'll interpret it. And they need to like pre-screen some of these things because it seems like they're really out of touch so many times. And that's also with some of these games. They feel like they're really out of touch in a lot of things. Like, for example, I mean, we were talking about the 7 Deadly Sins gacha. I know the 7 Deadly Sins gacha was probably in development for years and years. I mean, like, it had to have been. But
yeah, at least 5 years plus.
Yeah, it's like the issue is they started making their game, and by the time they released their game, the market has changed in some ways and also evolved.
Yeah.
Because, like, look at Neverness to Everness. Look at, you know, Arknight's Enfield. Look at Wuthering Waves. Like, look at how high quality these games are and how high quality they look and how many features they have. And then 7 Deadly Sins is like, okay, well, we got to compete with that. Like, what do we have that sets us apart?
Yeah, so to continue on to your point, because China has, in terms of cost and efficiency and the with the limited time strain, the amount of workers they can put in, the developer side, you can't compare the workforce, the labor force, the amount that you can put in within like a month and a half.
Oh, to China?
Let's say, yeah, to China, to Korea. For Korea, 100 plus, 150 developers per game. That's a pretty big team. For China, like 400, 500 developers per team, per game, maybe more. Because they simply just can't handle that amount. And compared to the content within the same amount of time, of course there will be difference. So going forward, Korean companies, in knowing that they cannot compete the amount of content they can produce in the same amount, they will have a lot more gameplay specifics, as you have just mentioned. They will go more towards specific gameplay, which is what CGN is doing.
Good.
Sorry, it is the way. They cannot compare. NT, just look at what they're doing. I don't know, you probably didn't tune into other side, only global. They had specific content and specific collaborations for Korea only, and also global only, and also Japan only.
Wait, like what?
No other company has done that. For example, like Korea, they're doing a collaboration with like GS, like 7-Eleven in Korea. Like they have specific collaborations and stuff for Korea.
Oh, I see.
Only.
You mean so like it's with a specific business across the whole world or something like that, like a milk tea
Yeah, I know.
place,
It's
they're doing
usually in a
ones?
specific region only, and then they would do another one not at the same time. So this is a different scale that we're talking about for NT.
Well,
and after seeing that, like all the game companies are kind of cautious
about
or
it?
even scared about NT coming out. That the day that launches, this entire gacha community, gacha world of how businesses run, it's gonna change.
Really? Now that's really
in terms of
interesting.
content, you just cannot compete at the same level. The content amount coming out at the same time.
That's
so
really
you do
interesting.
need to pick a different path and go all the way in. That's going to be for a lot of the Korean companies, not just Korean companies, a lot of the other gacha companies that has a lot less developers. That is the only way of surviving, technically, right?
You know, honestly, that's really good news. Because I think here's my feeling. I've felt this for a while. So Japan makes 1,000 slop gacha games all the time, just nonstop trash. They have very few good gacha games. China has made like lots of gacha games, but they're also the producers of like the biggest gachas, like the ones that are really huge and succeed. Korea is somewhere in the middle. They make way less gacha games than other regions, but I would say on average, not always, but I'd say on average they have more like good quality ones or interesting ones.
Yeah, because only the good quality ones get to global.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense.
They fail doesn't even get to global.
But they're also obsessed with PvP, and a lot of people don't like that. So that's one issue that Korea runs into. I think is they always love having PvP, but a lot of people don't like having PvP, even if it doesn't affect them. But that's really interesting what you were saying about NTE like affecting things that much, and that's actually a good thing because I don't speak for everyone, but like I speak for me. I don't want them to compete with Chinese gacha games. I don't want them to make open world games. We have enough of them. There's 1,000, like, it's like, let's make an extraction shooter. Oh boy, so exciting. Like, there's 1,000 of these now. Like, PUBG had 1 million clones too, because PUBG was so fun, people kept riding on the bandwagon. We don't need more of those. We want more interesting, different games. Like, somehow a game like Trickle did well. Why? Because it's kind of just a cute little game that does stuff different, so people like it, and they have memes, and they seem to be like more with the community, so people love that kind of stuff, right? Nikke, I mean, well, there's not really much game in Nikke, let's be honest, but they do everything
It's the only
else.
butt game, so
Yes,
it's the
true,
only
true.
butt-shaking game. So
You're right,
that's the
actually.
hook. We Korean people call it hook. What that hooks people in. But once you get in, it's actually, you don't even look at the butt. It's all about the gameplay and the characters.
Well,
right?
I would say the gameplay is the worst part of Nikke. Everything else is basically the highest tier. Like, I don't even read the story, but people are pretty much like, the story is like one of the best gacha stories. The music is easily some of the best music in any game. Honestly, outside of gachas even, its music is incredible. The designs are really good. Like, even the voice acting is good.
The story is really good.
They do amazing with pretty much every single facet. The gameplay is the weakest part because there's barely any gameplay, ironically. So, like, the next Nikke game to come out that they're working on, I mean, it has the potential to be just the best gacha game ever made, I guess, essentially. Because they were able to, if they were able to nail every single other element, well, if they just make the gameplay really fun. Meanwhile, Chaos Zero Nightmare was the opposite. The gameplay was really good, and everything else was bad, basically. Like, that was the issue on the launch of this game. It had no polish, it had a million issues.
Let's not say everything else. Some other things were bad.
Okay, I wouldn't say
did not say
everything
anything,
else, but...
guys. I did not say anything. The ad guy said that.
Whoa. Hey, they improved a lot of them. Look, I'm just giving my actual thoughts on this, all right? And you know what? I've always been doing this for years, and they've been fine with it. But here, my feeling is,
maybe
it's
not
like,
this year. We need to think about the future.
Well, so basically, if CZN released in the state that it is now, though, or like that it is with Season 3 instead of when it launched, I think it would have been way bigger. Because it's so much more polished than it was. They've improved so many of the elements and some of the issues that they had on launch. The game is way better than it was on launch. And I think a lot of games are not given the proper time to actually work either. Like, they get forced to release early. That 100% happened with CZN. Like, CZN was supposed to release like the previous year or something. It was supposed to come out like so long ago, and it didn't because they had to improve and change so many things. And then when it eventually launched, it still wasn't really done. And launching games in the like half-assed early access state, kind of like what happens on Steam games, I think people are getting tired of it, and it's hard to actually have people really love the game. Because look at something like Enfield.
That's a good point.
Enfield, I like the game, but I'm not gonna lie, it has a lot of boring aspects and things that I'm not a big fan of Enfield, even though I like the game overall. But it's one of the most polished gachas that has ever come out. 0 issues on launch, runs really well on all devices, there's not a million translation issues, like everything works and it feels like a full game that's finished. But so many of these other games, like, they come out, they're ass, and then people never look at them ever again, because why would they look at that game again? It's dead to them.
So in that way, I know you talk about the gamer's point of view, and it seems like it feels like more I talk, I'm being very defensive for the gamer developer side. So let's say games are supposed to make money, right? But you have this much funding and you're running out of funds.
I understand, yeah.
This game can be published and make some money. If you publish it 4 months later, NT's gonna drop within that time. Do you publish it now with the lower quality and make some money and try to continue on with the base players? Or do you go for the riskier play of 4 months after NTE of maybe running out of your company money beforehand and launch that with probably a lot lower player base to start off? Usually it's really hard the starting off point is usually the highest player count for a lot of games, so the launching point is always the dilemma.
I actually totally understand that, and I think in a case like 7 Deadly Sins it makes sense. But I believe in a case like Chaos Zero Nightmare, it didn't quite make sense to me, because that's like a direct competition, I would say, of open world gachas. But Chaos Zero Nightmare is a very unique gacha. There isn't really any gacha out. Its competition, ironically, is Slay the Spire, which it is derived from,
Of
right?
Of course.
Like that's its competition is Slay the Spire, which is really funny, honestly. And I mean, I see you guys taking ideas from Slay the Spire too, like the multiplayer mode. Great idea. Honestly, I'm really glad that they're.
I mean, I didn't say of course.
stuff.
Of course not. Of course not. For the record, please. Yes, keep that on record.
No,
Yes.
but yeah. Like that kind of stuff, I think is like it. I really like to see them actually taking good elements from competition. I think that's an amazing idea. That's how it should be. But I do understand the concept of like, well, we should just release the game right now, because if we release it too late, like we might not have funding, or maybe we don't have time, or all sorts of stuff. That totally makes sense. But I think at the same time, I mean, maybe I won't say this for every game, but if there's a really, really big Korean game coming out, gacha or no, I think putting the time into really polishing that game out is a big deal, because I think Neverness to Everness, for instance, is doing that. When I played an old beta, I thought the game was kind of ass. I didn't think the game was that good. It wasn't impressive. Its graphics weren't amazing. It didn't really have anything going for it. When I played the more recent beta, I was kind of blown away. I was like, wait, the game's kind of good. Like, there's a lot of really good things, and the game looks nice. There's so many elements that are good, except the performance they had to work on. If the game releases and it has all these good elements, but the performance is trash, then it's going to lose an insane amount of players. Like, even if the game's good.
What's the next big Korean
I don't know.
gacha coming out?
Hell, you might know about it, and I don't.
Primilia? It's also published by. It's already out, right? It's published by Nexon. It's coming out.
No, it's not out. I thought Azure Primilia
Is it
was
not out?
a Chinese game.
It's a Chinese game, but for Korea, publishing is done by Nexon.
Ah, okay, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, it's not out yet. It's only had some betas in like China, and I
the
think
next
Korea
one,
as well.
next one, of course, not dated. I don't know if it's going to be next year or a year after. Like Project RX, the Blue Archive team
Oh, I don't know.
is
what that
also
really.
making that. It's like a 3D Blue Archive. No, not really, but very different. Oh yeah, Project RS. It's made by the same director that made Blue Archive, Yong-ha Kim. I think that's coming later in the future, but they have been hiring a lot of people for the team, so I think it's still in development.
Oh, well,
And
yeah, it must be still in development.
Star Savior is out, so I think nothing else at the moment. Right now, nothing should be launching because NT is out, and GTA is coming out later. So anything in between is it's kind of screwed. Until you have a game like Silk Song. Like Silk Song, there's no replacement, right? So all the future games, even if they're in development, they need to change the direction right now and be very unique, special, and they need to focus on specifics, like only on the gameplay or only on the character, something like that. And it needs to be unique. That does not really have competition if you're going to be in gacha system. I think that's going to be the near future and even more further future for a lot of the Korean games, especially.
Well, maybe they shouldn't make maybe making an open world self-insert game isn't the best idea when the market's
I don't think any other games. I don't think any other Korean games are making open.
Good.
Oh, Cookie Run's making an open world.
Oh.
Supposedly, that's
Actually,
what they
Nikke
announced
is
like
too.
last month.
I think Nikke is making an open world game. We don't know anything about it other than supposedly it's open world, I think.
Nikke should make a VR shooting game.
For who? No one has VR.
You guys
though.
know what? You guys know what I'm trying to get to? Yes. It's gonna be wild. Yes. It's gonna be in your face.
I think all
Yes.
Nikke needs to do is they just need to make like a first-person or third-person shooter type gacha game that just has the whole Nikke universe and all of the characters, the music, all of that stuff, and basically just make it. You know that game like The First Descendant? Basically just make something like that.
First Descendant.
If they just made something like that, but
Nikke.
Nikke and fun, I think people would be like losing their minds over it and how good it would be. I don't know.
If I'm ever released from all the Korean companies, I have probably 3 weeks of story to tell you about all the things that's happening right now and before and probably in the future too. But
Oh, I
there are
bet.
things that I cannot mention.
Honestly,
there are a lot of things I just cannot mention.
when we were talking earlier about like they need to consult people and stuff, I almost feel as though in some ways, they almost need consultants like early on in development of some games even. Because I think some games, the vision just seems wrong. I don't know.
That's the thing. Some old days, like I'm talking like 11, 14 years back, they tried that a couple of times because I'm talking Korean company. Okay, we can only be short-sighted or tunnel vision because we're only working within the team, right? Can we have consultants from outside, like Western, Japanese, Chinese, or whichever, and try to work that as a team? And then the director said no, because I'm the director. And I get to choose my vision of what I want in the game. Well, because it's so early on. If they keep on taking words from other people, it's not going to be the same game that they wanted to create.
You know what? Actually,
right?
I actually kind of agree with that. That's not exactly the consulting I mean. I think that the person's original vision should be honored. I actually think that is a good thing because you can't have like too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Because then things will just be like weird. So I'm fine with that. I think that makes sense. But what I more mean is like the vision on some other elements, let's say like certain gameplay elements or just like here's the gameplay loop, you know, that type of stuff. I think a lot of the time that can use a lot of work. I think the actual concept and all those things, I don't think they need any help with that or consulting. Like, you know what? They should do what they want to do for like the type of game they're trying to make. Also, tell these companies over in Korea to stop putting male characters in the game because it just causes issues. It never works. They need, like, if any future non-released Korean gacha games are putting male characters in them and it's a self-insert gacha, well, then they're already making a mistake and shooting themselves in the foot. It's happened like 100 times. I don't know how they keep making these mistakes. It never works.
It's a major, minor, sensitive issue on all sides, so I'm not going to say anything.
I'm just venting here. It's like, I'm fine with having male characters in a game, but if it causes drama and issues every single time, well then what's the easiest solution? To just not even do that in the first place.
Furries are the answers, okay? Furries.
Yeah, because then no one will play.
Hobbits, orcs. Those are the answers, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I guess do that. But, like, it just causes so many issues. But I think the biggest consulting stuff that some of these companies would need would be, like, way later on in the process, not just at the beginning. And also, for the love of God, they need to not hire the dumb fuck Western, like, localizer people that are on Twitter all day. Do not hire those absolute morons. If they're gonna hire people, they need to get actual information from people who care about the type of games that are being played and have experience playing a lot of them and that are passionate about them. They need to look into getting those kinds of people, the people that actually genuinely care about that style of game. Because
funnily enough, the much of the localization, if it's a big company like Smilegate and Netmarble, they probably have localization team within the company, like a huge team that handles multiple games. But if it's a small size company, let's say even for Limbus, it's not a huge company technically. Probably went up to like 60 something employees.
Yeah, that's small.
But you probably have a couple of people doing the entire localization, which is not doable because they have a lot of text. They probably send it to another localizing special company that exists either in Korea or abroad. And those people are going to be handling it. And funnily enough, in that process, they do send the game client, right? A lot of the leaks come out from those type of issues. Because digitally, they have to send the clients to check and all those things, right? And then someone in the process would leak sometimes. Those things would happen, or even for graphics. Not every animator can handle so many, so they would work with another company and then send in those clients sometimes. But in the process, someone can leak stuff. So those are where the leaks come from most of the time.
Well,
so leaks do make
Well, what I would say is I'm not talking about like the localization in terms of like text and stuff. I'm more talking about like if they were to get people to consult them on things related to the game, they should get people that like genuinely care about those kinds of games and have experience with them, right?
Yeah,
like those kinds of people to test and give them feedback. So for like, you know, Example,
What's a good
I'm just randomly
reference?
spitballing, basically like JJ for Wizardry or something like that. Like, he's a super passionate player of those kinds of games, and he's played lots of dungeon crawlers, so to have him consult you on stuff related to a dungeon crawler is a good idea because he knows a lot about those kinds of games and loves those kinds of games. So
Yeah.
having that type of person makes sense. But like, what I'm saying is what a lot of companies do, and this is what happened with Capcom, actually. Capcom, for a while, had the United States and places outside of Japan developing a lot of their games and working on a lot of their games. And guess what? At that same time, they had a streak of like a decade of shit games. Nobody liked Capcom. They called them Crapcom. Everyone hated everything they made. And then suddenly, they close all that stuff down and start making everything in-house again in Japan, and suddenly their games are
I have
amazing.
to cast a Capcom game next week.
Like, that's a Capcom game.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Capcom
but
game.
yeah, let's just say it's not. Oh, it's.
What? I'm complimenting
let's say
them, though.
let's say it's it's compliment. Okay. then
I'm
continue.
complimenting them, saying that they got rid of all those trash outside people, and then suddenly they started making god tier games, and now everyone likes every single game that they make. They're all popping off. They're all great. So what I'm saying is,
okay.
like, the moment they removed the idiots that have no idea what they're doing, that are clueless morons from the equation, suddenly they're making amazing games. So what I'm trying to say is, like, you have to get the right people who actually know what they're talking about and actually care and are passionate about those games to be the people consulting stuff.
So this is actually a very hard decision from the game developer, producers, and also the business side.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because good reference would be like a Japanese VA. Let's say Japanese VA for Meliodas. He's super busy, stacked. He's super famous. He's of course not just disregard how expensive he can be, but everyone's looking for him in a similar position, right? So if that localization company is known to play the game and have deep understanding that every line of company will line up for that localization, depending on the game schedule, they just cannot handle depending on the manpower. So they would find a second place and a third place. In fact, in this world, there's not that many, very few like decent localization. So,
Well,
so
whoever
that's the
localized
thing. They would
manga.
always sidetrack.
Whoever localized manga should be
Yeah,
promoted.
I'm actually going to ask that because it seems like a total different team. Like the context and the conversation, it's very different.
Well,
from all the other
Netmarble
games
needs
from
to
Netmarble.
immediately, basically, like, buy that company out or whatever and have that as their special thing, because anyone who can actually, like, I'm not even trying to really like glaze Mongol Stardive, but it's just the way they do the storytelling in the game and the way they have the characters interact just absolutely far exceeds every single other 3D gacha game that I've seen.
Really? That much? I only played
Oh,
like
I think
4
so,
and a
yeah.
half hours.
Just the
So I
way
don't
that the
actually
characters
know that
interact, the way that they actually feel like they have personality, the way that the cutscenes, they have tons of movement and they feel alive. It feels like you're watching an anime. Cutscenes in other games, they'll have good cutscenes from time to time, but not that many. The way that characters interact usually sucks in other games too, probably because they're doing self-insert. But it's just so far and above better. So like, if you could consistently have that in a game, that's kind of a big deal, I think. That's my feeling.
Yes, you just talked about CZN, Origin, Mongil, and Blue Archive, and all that, right? Together, all the games that I'm casting, right? Perfect. Thank
Are there any others you'd like me to talk about? Any other games that maybe you'd like me to talk about?
This was a
PUBG? Do you want me to talk about
call.
PUBG?
This was a very dangerous call, Jenna, and I will never talk to you again.
Well, just for being associated. Just
No,
by being
but I
associated.
will. But getting serious, dude, we should work as a team, and I should put you in. Like, you should have a name card, like digital name card or like QR code, and I will toss those into the
Damn.
Korean developers. And it'd be like, there's this guy who like shit talks all day, but he's right sometimes.
He's
So
right
you should talk to
sometimes.
this guy
Yeah. Sometimes he's kind of. I mean, the thing is, to be honest, it's not just me though. I think there's a lot of other people that probably have a lot of really good feedback and ideas that I feel as though no one's ever really heard. Like, the only thing you really ever see with feedback with games is normally, like, outrage on the internet, and it's usually over insane things, but it's usually just, like, outrage. That's the only feedback that gets fixed quickly that people see, but I think there's, like, probably a lot of people that have probably great ideas that, I mean, probably I can't even think of that, I just think more feedback type stuff would be really good.
Yeah, the hardest thing is to find the right person, just like hiring a new person. And consulting it's a very hard duty and a lot of responsibility. And even if they take those words, they might just not listen to him at all. So, but your words can. I don't know. I don't actually know if they have a person. If the Korean companies, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people. But an outsider could always help as an opinion, and I also give a lot of my opinion. I see the community, lots of Reddit, YouTube comments. I spent a decent amount of time not just preparing for the stream, but to send the feedbacks of people, like global people, because when you translate those words into documents, into reports of a company, the feedback's there, but the temperature is not there, right? So I send in the temperature, how hot it is, how cold it is, how this needs to be hot fixed. So I do that all the time. Of course, I do that all the time. So those things are some of the reasons why I exist. I do a lot of bridging between global and Korea, right? So for you to maybe put in some right things in the future. So in the future, all you have to do is watch anniversary stream, and in the rest of the time, you just have to consult, and you're good for life.
Well, it's just like, for me, how I see it is, I just want games to be good and better. And I don't know, I just feel like a lot of games, I feel as though they're so lost in the sauce of trying to ape off each other and copy each other's, like, the way they work and how they function. And then they get kind of lost in having their own identity, and they even copy the bad things. They'll copy the good things, but then they'll copy a bunch of things that kind of get in the way of the game being better.
50-50 was one of the worst idea in Gacha. I can't believe a lot of other companies actually fell for that, man.
Well, what's funny is how much pushback there is against it now. Like, there's games that advertise having no 50-50 as like a selling point, because clearly there's a lot of people that don't like it. It's actually seen as a negative to a lot of people. And it's funny you mentioned how that spread. Well, it's like the April 1st thing you were talking about, or half anniversaries, right? All of that stuff.
That was so funny, because it was literally the day after the other company developer said exactly the same thing on the smoking area. With smoke, is like, fuck, April Fools.
Yeah, it's just like that. That exact sentiment
is just extra content. They have to go through meetings. They have to be brilliant. It has to be funny. And being funny in different languages means that it really has to be funny or brilliant in a lot of ways. I bet it was CZN.
So I bet the guys saying that were CZN, because theirs were pretty good.
I'll tell you some backstory about CZN. I think this could be in public. So for the art, they tossed it to everyone. So pick some of the cards and have a paint drawing, and we'll select the best paint drawing for the specific cards, right? And then they actually had a lot of competition, because there are a lot of good references, but if it's like a direct reference, they can't really put that in game, right?
Yeah.
So they had to sort those things out, and it's actually not just the design artist team that handled those things. It was actually all the marketing people, business team.
Yeah, so everyone was drawing
the
stuff.
Project managers, everyone from the developer side, just putting in the work together to make it work. And it was actually really good. I liked the artwork. It was funny, and some people actually saying they would buy those cards for on sale.
Oh wow!
I've seen those comments on Reddit.
I almost feel like well, not only do I think it's a good idea to be able to buy those in game, like be able to buy them as card sleeves, kind of, to make it look like that. They should also put them on, sell the original copy or whatever that someone made. Or I guess it was probably done on a digital thing. If they had any physical media of it, I feel like they should do giveaways or stuff of the fake versions of the cards for the April Fools or something,
Oh, dude. Your idea reminds me of too many things I cannot say to the public. But yes, there were ideas tossed already for like physical cards related to CZN.
Oh, I mean, that would make sense. I mean, I have some right now. Like, they have those CZN like card packs that were at Tokyo Game Show, which I thought was like a cool thing. You know, I'll also say this. This is another thing. Okay, so this is way out of my element, so I might be totally clueless. But like, I've never understood most merch by gacha companies. I know that Asia loves pins. They love clear files. They love like keychains. The West does not give a fuck about any of those. Nobody in the West
What about those
cares.
plastic stands?
Oh, acrylics? Very few.
Acrylics.
I would say those can be okay, but I would say they're not nearly as popular in the West as they would be.
Japan is really about acrylics.
Yes,
though. Japan
loves them.
I think super into
I think because they don't take up a lot of space, and you get to have the thing you like displayed. I would say in the West, people really like other merch things. So, for example, I think plushies are always a success for like any game. I feel like plushies always go hard, whether it's East or West. I think they're successful. People really like hardware and things they can actually use, so like a keyboard or a mouse or things like that.
Keycaps are also good.
Keycaps can be great too. I agree. I think things that are practical, like clothing, but not clothing that's super obvious. So like, you know, if you're playing Blue Archive, you don't want like a giant Arona on the front or something like that, you know, like not that kind of stuff.
Yes,
that's more. Okay, well, some people do. Some people are walking around with Ahegao hoodies and stuff. But like, in terms of clothing, things that are like more
Clearly,
subtle.
someone's not a sensei, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Thank God. Things that are more subtle but like cool designed, I think, are things that people really like. And also, I mean, there's a big stigma against like otakus and stuff like that in somewhere like Japan. So if you can have cool designed outfits or clothes or stuff that has maybe references or just cool things related to the game or anime, but isn't outright a giant Arona, things that you can actually wear in public, I feel like that stuff can sell really well too. But every time with these gacha companies, what do you get? Okay, some clear files, here's some pins, here's the big merch pins, and then it's just
That's
like
a big company marketing team just pushing buttons and letting AI do work.
I'm gonna be real, being a marketing team in Asia must be the easiest, cushiest job of all time. You just go, okay, let's make a buttons, now get the art team to copy paste this onto buttons, and we're gonna start like,
Hey,
do you even have to do anything?
I'm gonna be very real because those jobs usually come down to the newbies in the marketing team. I'm just gonna be
really?
real. And the boss of the marketing team is like, oh, you're new, right? You should have a lot of ideas. You're younger, you're fresher, you have brain cells, right? So you come up with ideas. Okay, let's see what happens. And then if it doesn't happen, let's just go with the old ones.
Well, I feel like what might happen is maybe they do come up with the ideas, and then the head people see it and go,
yes.
now I think we're gonna do
then
pins.
the things change.
I think they go, now we're doing
Yeah.
pins. Like, I think a big...
And then it goes like, oh, good idea. So what's the cost? Nah, let's just stick with
Nah,
the
it costs
acrylics.
1 penny to make the acrylics, and we make $1 billion or whatever. Well, I think something that's interesting goes along with that, and we were talking about NTE earlier. I think one of the biggest differences between a game like NTE and a lot of the other gachas I've seen is I think they're taking a lot of risks. And they have a lot of unique things that are different. So, some examples would be how they do the anomalies in NTE. It's not just you go around the map and there's a slider puzzle that's copied 50 times around the map, right? Instead, you'll fight an anomaly, and it might be a one-time fight thing. Like, you don't see it again. Like, that was it, and it dropped a special thing. Or it
Those
might
are
be
all
like...
because of the amounts of developers
Yes.
able to handle
Yes.
those amount of work. within the
100%.
time.
But I
Yes.
think it's not just that. That's one example. I think there's like a lot of other risks. I mean, even having like the dating thing is kind of a big deal. We haven't really seen that in an open world gacha,
yeah, I've seen
having
some
those
posts.
kinds of elements. That's it. Well, there was recently a drama about it, but like that's a big unique thing. And then this goes along with the whole merchandise thing we were just talking about. Is I think a lot of these companies, they don't and can't take risks.
Wait. Did you get You're saying a little too much. Did you get a Porsche?
Yeah,
An actual
yeah,
Porsche from
well,
NTE?
there's not an
That's
actual...
right.
Okay, yeah, whatever, bro. Like,
Caught!
Only
Guys, I
one-
caught him.
only one
He's
person
done.
is gonna
No,
get
he's
the
not done.
Porsche,
He's got a
bro.
Porsche.
Yo, I wish I got a Porsche. Oh my god, I wish I got that Porsche. Dude, I would be showing that thing
He's
off
got the
everywhere,
full
man.
option Porsche.
I'd be doing
the red.
driving streams. Like, I'd be going crazy with that. Also, Hitsuga, thanks for the 5 subs, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for the subs.
Yeah, I'll give half to Gclef, don't worry. So, like, I think risk-taking is a big thing. And here's another example. The game Rewinding Cadence. That's a Chinese gacha that there hasn't been a ton of info out for, but like they've shown off some stuff.
Cadence.
Yeah, that game is another open world gacha that's going to be coming out at some point.
Saro Assist. Okay, open world role playing, not no date.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it has some kind of cool things, but I know someone who works at the company, and they've basically just publicly said this stuff, so I can repeat it here, right? Because they've just publicly said it in chat, and we've talked about it a bunch, so I can talk about it again.
Oh, like this guy was a chatter in
Yeah,
your stream?
he's a chatter who also works there, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm chilling. They're like, I'm chill with everybody. I'm fine. I can say whatever. I was like, okay. But the guy was pretty much like, there's internal issues between the developers and the management. And what it is...
Of course.
Well, but like what it
supposed
is
to be like
essentially the developers are like, we want to add these cool ideas, we want to make this game better, we want to do all these things. Like, here's an example is they wanted to make it so that multiple characters would be on the field at the same time, like how Enfield does it, right? So that's one example. They're like, we want this, like, it would be a really good idea, like, we want to make this. Well, the head up people go, it's not like Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact doesn't do that, and it's really successful. So these basically completely clueless business suit people are getting in the way of fresher, more fun, interesting ideas because they're so busy trying to copy what worked that they don't realize that you can't just copy something and succeed. You have to add your own twist and innovation on it. And I think that's that huge disconnect and the ego of these higher-ups and the cluelessness that they don't seem to understand why certain games succeed and what makes people like them, because they don't play games, they make games. Well, actually, no, they don't even make the games. They're not even the developers who are making them. They oversee people who make games, but they themselves have no real understanding.
They're businessmen most of the place.
They know how to make money, they don't know how to make people like things to make that money, I feel. And because of that, I think so many fresh ideas get stifled that I think so many of these gachas come out and they're just bad or just like not as good as they could be because they're too busy trying to be Genshin Impact. And every single game,
some companies.
Yeah, and once Genshin Impact came out, every single company went, you know what, this game worked, so then they can sell that to the people with the money and say, we want to make a game like this, it makes billions of dollars, and the person with the money says, make that. And then that's what we get over and over and over. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I think all creativity is being completely stifled for most of these gacha games and most of these companies, and it's awesome you were saying that the Korean companies seem to have woken up and been like, we can't do that, we don't have the manpower, you guys have to be a lot more clever making cool games rather than just copying the same thing over and over. I think that's a good thing, actually, even though it might be seen as bad.
And Koreans are very good at content creating in a very good way that's impacting the world, like K-pop Demon Hunters and all that, BTS. What you just talked about, it reminds me of a time when I worked in Volvo Powertrain. I actually, technically not an engineer, but I was in the hardware software team.
Really?
And then we would come up with all the designs, all the software, hardware, and if you do this, it would bump up the hood by 1 inch at the center, but this is going to impact the gallons per mile so much. It's going to create this fabulous engine. And then you bring that to the designer section. They're like, that's not pretty though. And all this work calculation with software, hardware, all that doesn't matter if you don't understand. The other side, not willing to understand, they don't know, they just don't want to. That can certainly happen if you just look at the numbers and see, will this be money or no?
Oh, you have to do the middle ground, right? Both sides have to win, but I think often one side is going way more on trying to make money and screwing up, I would say. I think it's a lot more common that the business side wins over the development of good things. Yeah, there needs to be, and this is probably an issue at a lot of these companies too, is there's no communication between them. They don't
It depends.
know what they're doing.
Like Nikkei, Kim Young-seok, he's a designer and a gamer. So from NCSoft. So the CEO knows everything about the game. So that's why Nikkei is doing so well. Especially the design is so spectacular.
And he's also a
game,
gooner.
Right?
That's another important part, is
Big
that
time,
he's also
yes.
a gooner, because so he understands how to make gooner characters and make that succeed, and he likes playing games, and he was an artist. So
and also he came from a company that earns gazillion amount of money called NCSoft, so he understands the fundamentals from that company as well. So,
yeah, so like
another example, Young-ah Kim from Blue Archive, he married a cosplayer. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Yeah, he married a cosplayer, huh?
Yeah, he married a cosplayer.
Who is it? Is that not public or something?
Yeah, it's everyone knows it's out on public. He married. Okay. I think he married a Korean television company, like a TV channel. Like TV channel actually had like a documentary on him because he married a cosplayer. Such a long time ago when people didn't really understand what cosplaying even was. Yeah, so he was based a while ago, even before Blue Archive.
Damn, okay. I didn't know about that. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, a big thing is that everyone always talks about for Nikkei is, like, a niece is the favorite character of the CEO, and it was designed by his wife. So it's like, I mean, like, that's, like, a cool thing when you hear those little things about games. It feels a lot less soulless of a game. It doesn't feel like it's so corporate and only about money and all those kinds of things.
Yes.
Like, those are
their entire life
things.
has to be like related and relatable to the game that it would succeed. If it's on the other line, it only succeeds to a certain level. It doesn't excel far beyond it. That's what I understood after this many years of Gacha.
So that's a big feeling that I get from a game like Neverness to Everness right now. I'm not even trying to gas the game up. I'm just trying to say, use it to illustrate the differences.
Shut up! You got a Porsche. You can talk all day.
I'll show off my Porsche. Don't worry.
That's why OBS is crashing, man. It does. 20,000 is not.
Yeah, I'm currently in my Porsche right now. It has green screen capabilities. Actually, I just been sitting at the McDonald's drive-through this whole time. I've been,
It's got 5090 Ti.
Oh yeah,
built
thank you.
inside,
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
That's why it costs so much.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Okay, no wonder you barely eat pizza, one piece of pizza per day. And you pretend like you never go outside, but you are on the Porsche this entire time.
Bro. Yeah,
man,
caught.
I knew it.
Dude, I wish I was that bought and sold, bro. I wish I could be that bought and sold, that I'm that wealthy just from being bought out, bro. I wish. I wish it was that easy. No, but like, this all started kind of from us talking about
Origin and Gacha stuff.
Yeah, Origin, but also just how to make some of these games better. And like, I think it's not just me. I mean, I'm a content creator, but I think there's lots of people out there that probably feel similarly, who really wish that they could be involved just to make games better. It's not even about like being paid. I'm sure tons of people would do it for free. Just people just want to be involved with some of these games so that they can get something that they love as well. And because they're passionate about these different either industries or gachas or just certain genres of game. And I just feel like if there was more of a connection between people who know what they're talking about in these genres with some of these companies who could like critique certain elements, be like, yeah, this is a really bad idea because X, Y, and Z, and like people aren't gonna like it because it leads to these problems, and also what about the future? Like, if they can have that kind of input, I really think it could do a lot of good for games.
Yeah. And I actually welcome NTE to the scene because this pushes all the other games to be a lot more into what they specialize. And it will force a lot of the, not just Korean companies, all the other, not just Gacha. I think this game is actually having a much bigger of an impact, not just the Gacha games. It'll push all the other games to actually excel at their pace, at an extra pace, not only those ones in service, but the future games as well. Of hell, some of the games that are in development now, after playing NTE, they might just shut down immediately because they might just feel like, okay, we can't compete. GG.
Really, you think so?
I think I honestly think so. because okay, we got this much funding, we still have this much money, so okay, time to shut down, time to shut the shutters.
That's
I think
kinda
that's actually
crazy.
going to happen because the quality is so high for NTE. It just cannot match if you think about any other open world that is
Damn.
similar to it. Even I think GTA might actually get a lot less revenue because of this game. That's how
Well,
far
because
I'm
it's free.
thinking.
It's a free game.
Yeah, it's free game that you get to ride a Porsche if you just go into their. I mean, if you go to Jenna's house, you can also ride a Porsche.
True,
but
true.
in game, that's also in they have a SOAR in game.
I don't think GTA would make a bunch less. I think it's a different audience. I think it's for people, especially who don't want anime stuff. I think the West goes so crazy for it. I think it's a very different experience, personally. I don't really think
they
that
delayed it way too many times. I'm not gonna play it. I had interest, but it's way too late.
Well, I'm not gonna play it because it's on console, so I have to wait like a year for it to come out on PC, and I just don't like playing console games. So like, I'm just not buying the game. There's no point. So maybe when it comes out on PC, I will. That's interesting.
Thanks
your
for the call, though.
perspective. Oh yeah. It's really.
I do have to wrap up and do other.
You have a lot more
things
going on in your
to get
life
prepped
than
for.
me.
Guys, so this week is kind of tough, and Gacha is leading me to lots of different places. So I have Origin tomorrow, some Capcom game on Friday,
Some Capcom game.
Epic 7 on Saturday, Delta Force on Sunday, and CTN next Tuesday.
Damn. Yeah.
I'm living my dream
got
right
a
now.
lot, too.
Maybe I'm dreaming right now.
Yeah, and you've even done League of Legends that one time. Hopefully you can get even more stuff, man.
Dude, that was a
You're-
fill-in. I don't think I'm gonna.
Hey,
get
well, at
any
least you have an
anymore.
example. Look, you're that guy for gacha games, though. You're that guy, and well, hell, even non-gacha games like PUBG and Delta Force, they have you. So, I mean, I think this was.
That's a Korean casting, so it's kind of different. But I'm always trying so much for the Korean companies to actually understand a little bit better, so they would step a little closer to the Western audience, especially because it's very different, as you probably know, and I know different things, and you and I share things. But for Korean companies, sometimes they're not willing to go that extra step to know a few more things. So I think that's what I'm trying a lot of Korean companies to realize, that this is actually much required as a company, not just from me, but sometimes they just don't go that far because it's not required right now.
What would you say your exact job description, or just what's your job name called? Because I always thought you were like just caster, but you kind of do everything.
Caster, yeah. Caster, MC, commentator, host. That's it. Translator, interpreter.
Yeah, you kind of
Because
seem to work
do
closely
MC
with the
for
companies and
like
everything.
Samsung and stuff from time to time, like not non-gaming related. Like if it requires like international audience, then I would go.
You're Mr.
and
Worldwide.
Pop a show. Huh?
You're Mr. Worldwide, dude. You're doing everything for like all these different games, and I mean, you know the scoop on all these different companies too, man. Like they should be paying you to get information on the competition.
I still have so much time to play all these games and to sleep like 7-8 hours a day. I can handle so many more.
Damn.
Because we don't work at a company. We're not salary man.
We make our own hours.
We're
we
jobless.
do whatever. Yeah, we're
if
bums.
we lose a couple of jobs, we're technically jobless.
Yeah, we're
And
bums.
soon homeless, but you will still have your Porsche, so everything is okay for you. So
you work the opposite
thanks for
side.
never talking to me. Thanks for never having this
never
phone call.
happened. None of this talk ever happened. But
And-
actually, great talk. Thanks for this
Uh-huh.
discussion. It was honestly super insightful in a lot of ways, seeing the perspective, especially from the Korean side.
Yes, because Korean side always asks me any of these.
Yeah, I'll
questions,
delete the
and
VOD. This is gone from the internet. Actually, maybe I'll just
delete the
upload this
VOD,
as a YouTube
or
video.
Make sure to sort it out. Kind of like you post on Instagram, but like you block a couple of people so they can't get to watch it.
I'll block all the
block
companies.
Korea.
Country
block Korea, including North Korea, because they can hack you also.
True.
Okay?
I can't
So-
I can't let them see it either. There's one guy in North Korea that's on Steam 24 hours a
Mr.
day.
Kim?
It
Okay,
might
that's
be
Mr.
Kim.
Probably.
It might be Mr.
Yeah,
Kim.
that's
Could
probably.
be.
Okay, this conversation seriously never happened.
Well-
and You know, the greatest fact is I probably told you less than like 10% of what I can tell
Oh, I
you.
bet.
Less than like 8%, probably.
I love hearing like industry things and industry secrets because I've heard little bits and pieces of Smilegate actually from people who have worked there. Little
What?
tiny bits.
Oh, hey, goodbye. Hey,
All right.
I love Smilegate. I love Nick. I love Blue Archive. I love Netmarble big time. I love Nimbus Company.
Yeah, this is a weekly
Yes.
podcast. And we get 10% each week until we get to the 100%. Yeah.
Whoa, that weekly podcast will last a week if you're getting that 10%. That's how big of a thing this is.
Man, yeah, you have a lot of experience.
And I do hold a lot of NDA, so I will never release that to
Well,
anyone.
I'm gonna be real. That has not stopped people before.
Well,
NDAs
not me,
have
because
not
the moment I leak things, I am literally fired from everything. This industry is quite small. than
Yeah,
you'd
no, that's
imagine.
true. No, but like I have the amount of people I've seen that have broken NDAs to talk about info, it's all over. But anyways, thanks a bunch for talking with me. This was honestly a great time. Yeah, I mean,
Hey, give me a ride next time I go to your house.
oh yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. In
Bye.
my Neverness to Everness Porsche. Have a good night, Gclef. I'll see you, man.
Bye.
Well, guys, that was my little talk with Gclef, impromptu, kind of out of absolutely nowhere. Yeah, that was really fun, actually. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This kind of came out of absolutely nowhere.